Hello and welcome to CSE Issuer Update Clips. I'm Dimitri Giller, and joining me today is Scott Walters, CEO of Maxus Mining Inc., ticker symbol MAXM on the CSE. Scott, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Dimitri. It's nice to see you.
Great. Let's jump into it. For listeners new to Maxus Mining, give us a quick overview of what the company's focus is and what sets your portfolio apart in the critical metals space.
Sure. So Maxus Mining is a company that we took public on an IPO on the CSE earlier this year in May. We're focused solely on critical mineral exploration and development, and we have a clear view on focusing on antimony and tungsten in our portfolio. And I think what really sets us apart is we're focused on district scale exploration for critical minerals, again, targeting antimony. And within our portfolio, which is just over 37,000 acres or just over 15,000 hectares, is the Alturas district. And the Alturas district is in southeastern British Columbia. And it hosts Canada's most prolific antimony mine that was active in the 1920s. And we recently acquired that and some data sets from a third party just last quarter. And over the summer, we did some extensive exploration. So I think what sets us apart there is we're taking a real modern data-driven approach to a historically productive area and building a portfolio around sort of an anchor of that former antimony mine that was producing 57% antimony. So I think that really sets us apart from just doing exploration where no mine's been done before. We've been able to acquire great data sets. We've spent quite a bit of time in the field, and that's setting us up for a busy and productive 2026.
So you're operating entirely in British Columbia, one of Canada's most mature mining jurisdictions.
Yes.
How does that shape your strategy, both technically and operationally?
Well, it's great. I've worked in British Columbia since I started in field exploration at the age of 17. It's a known entity. It's a tier 1 mining district. We've got good relations with the MTO. We've got good relations with our First Nation partners. It's a known permitting process where we've got great infrastructure. There's lots of logging and mining roads in the area to access our 5 properties. Majority of those we can get with a rented 4x4 for efficiency. This summer, we utilized helicopters to move our 2 teams in and around the property in an efficient manner. But it's a great province to work in. I've spent most of my life working in that province. Teams are available, so it's really easy to mobilize people out onto the field and get really good teams together that have great experience.
Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit and jump into the Alturas project.
Sure.
What stands out to you from the 2025 field program?
So what really stands out for us on Altura East, after our summer program, we collected hundreds of rock samples. We did soil and airborne work, and we've recently started releasing our assay results as they come back from the lab, and our team gets to go through them. We've been able to define a high-grade zone across a 1.5 kilometer corridor that stretches northwest from Alturas East up into Alturas West, which hosts the historic antimony mine. And we're seeing a clear continuity between historic workings and new identified showings. So that allows us to significantly expand our mineralized footprint and gives us some really good ideas for drill targeting and further work and development in 2026.
Okay, so speaking of the grades that would return, gold, silver, lead, zinc, copper, nickel, even some titanium.
Yeah.
How significant is that multi-commodity signature when you look at the system as a whole?
So I think the significance of that multi-commodity signature is it indicates a large, long-lived hydrothermal system, not just a narrow vein. It's multiple metals. We're really focused on antimony, but it's good to see that geology and the diversified value around our core focus in critical minerals. And the strong multiple mineralization that we're seeing really outlines a strong structural body and fluid pathways. And again, that can be seen in the map that we published on our recent news release on December the 2nd. And that's really going to enhance the probability of a district scale resource potential. So it's a really good indication for future success in the company.
Some of the most interesting results came from the Olympus East and West areas.
Yeah.
especially in the silver, lead, zinc vein. How do you interpret these zones?
Not a geologist, but it's a classic Slocan style silver, lead, and zinc vein system that validates regional mineralization trends. So the vein geometry helps us define and map a broader structural network that's controlling that mineralization.
Mhm.
And again, on our maps that we've been able to generate from the work that we did in the field, on the ground, and in the air, it really helps us support a multi-zone exploration model with some high-grade targets. And again, these are targets that we're going to be going after in 2026.
Okay, so let's jump back a little bit and talk about the historical work. So
Sure.
you've emphasized that the Alturas East Block hasn't seen systemic modern exploration since the 1970s.
Correct.
How much untapped potential do you believe is still sitting there?
Dangerous question, but I think significant untapped potential. Heretofore, the operators in the area have really been focused on other metals until fairly recently, like last year, when we put the company together. Antimony wasn't really even looked for. There wasn't really any modern work. Operators were rightly chasing after gold, silver, copper, and so forth. So I think the modern mapping that we're doing, the geophysics and the geochemistry, is going to allow us to unlock new targets in the area that people weren't even looking for previously.
Okay, switching gears a little bit as well. You recently announced a major historical drill hole compilation program.
Yeah.
So digitizing nearly 150 legacy holes into a modern 3D workspace.
Right.
What's the goal of this initiative?
Target precision, really. Like it's going to allow us to really buckle down and get good targets for our future drilling programs. We're taking all that we've consolidated rather decades of geological data, the data that we've done recently, and we're going to be creating a unified 3D geological model, which is going to give us a really good picture. And that allows us to recapture a lot of lost geologic content around the old workings and showings. So it's going to give us a really good picture, and it's going to allow our investors to see visually what we're looking at and give us good ideas on future targeting for more drilling.
Do you expect this 3D modeling work to immediately influence target generation for the 2025 and 2026 campaigns?
Oh, absolutely. It's already had an immediate impact. We're already refining structural interpretations, and it's given our geologists really good tools to work with. So I expect a strong shortlist of drill-ready, high-confidence targets for next year. And that allows us to reduce our time and capital, which is always a goal for an exploration company, to advance us to drilling. So the impact of the 3D modeling is fantastic. And these types of tools weren't really available, back when they were looking for antimony in the area. Back in the night, they simply weren't available. And so these recent technological changes that we're able to employ, again, just help us define targets and go after that antimony that we're after.
Right. So the antimony results at the flagship Alturas antimony projects were impressive, up to 69%.
Correct.
What's the long-term vision for that asset?
Well, that's really going to be, I think, our core focus for the company. We recently raised a couple of $1 million on a flow-through financing, and that's given us the funding that we require to attack that asset early in the spring. So I think we'll be able to get on the property early in the new year, and we're going to work towards a 43-101 there, and work towards drilling and really defining that property further.
Let's talk about your capital strategy.
Sure.
You recently closed a $2.6 million flow-through financing.
Yes.
What does that level of investor support tell you about the market's view of Maxus right now?
We've gotten great feedback from investors. As I mentioned, we took the company public back in May. And since that time, we've raised just over an additional $6 million, plus warrants have been exercised. And we did our first financing after we did our IPO on your CSE at 35 cents with a 47-cent warrant. We followed that up with a flow-through financing back in November at $1.10. And it's been well received. On the unlocks, we haven't seen a lot of violence to the stock. And I think investors are really focused on our antimony and tungsten projects. And I think the support that we received on the flow-through financing, we were able to effect that financing very quickly earlier this year. And I think a lot of investors are turning their attention to the critical mineral space, and the results of our financings and the follow-on trading really supports that kind of bull market approach for investors here.
Okay, and how are you prioritizing the capital deployment across such a large portfolio?
Great question. We're really focusing on the Alturas West property in the spring. So we've defined a work program of just over $2 million, and we're going to be deploying teams on that property. As I said earlier, I see that as our flagship asset for our shareholders and for our team. So the bulk of that flow-through money will be spent on the antimony properties. The bulk of that will be on the Alturas property, in addition to the two other properties that host antimony.
Looking ahead into 2026, what are the key catalysts investors should be watching out for?
I think the key catalyst that investors should be watching out for would be our field exploration. We'll have boots on the ground early in 2026 on the Alturas West property, which hosted our historic antimony mine. And that's going to be the core focus. So investors should look for more news on field programs and drilling, as well as assay results that will be coming out between now and then.
Okay, just wrapping up with one final question.
Sure.
What's the message you want to leave with shareholders and new investors as Maxus Mining advances into what looks like a pivotal year?
Yeah, well, Maxus controls a high-grade district-scale critical mineral system in a premier jurisdiction. We've acquired one of Canada's most prolific antimony mines historically. And 2026 is shaping up to be a transformational year for our company. We've received good funding. We have great shareholders. I'm blessed with a fantastic technical team and board. We're all pushing on this in the same direction here. So we've got a very focused strategy. We've got a strong balance sheet and compelling geology. So I think the combination of those things is going to make for a very active 2026 and remaining focused on critical minerals. I think it'll be a good year for us and for our investors.
Fantastic. Scott, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for your time, Dimitri.
Joining me today was Scott Walters, CEO of Maxus Mining Inc., ticker symbol MAXM on the CSE. Thank you and take care.
Thank you so much.